Scudder, Sean Dunn, yo, I flow liquid, Ruby Big gifted, wrote it in my manual, watch how I shift it.
All right, I'm out here at Waterfront Park in Trenton, New Jersey, speaking with Reading Phillies hitting coach Frank Cacciatore. Coach Frank, you've got a couple really solid hitters in the lineup this year in the early going for Reading. And what can you tell me about some of the guys that have had impressive outputs thus far in 2011?
Well, first off, you got to look at Matt Rosati and Cody Overbeck, our 3-4 hitters, 4-5 hitters right in the middle of the lineup. Cody got off to a great start. He's got a loud bat, good fastball hitter, and he's done a great job for us up to now. Matt Rosati is a great hitter, patient at the plate, can hit to all fields, and he's got the power, natural power. So those two guys in the middle, got off to a great start, but not to overshadow some of the guys that are sort of kind of go under the radar that are making progress, like Derek Mitchell, Carlos Rivero, and then the veterans like Mike Spadali and Matt Miller. So so all in all, it's been a fun group. It's a fun group, but I mean, all in all, they performed in the early parts of the season, and now if we can get the consistency throughout the season, it'll be fun.
I've spoken with manager of the team, Mark Parent, a few times about Matt Rosati specifically, once dating back to Arizona Fall League where Coach Mark was his hitting coach there, and once last week back in Reading, just talking about Matt specifically, where Matt really blazed through 2 levels last year, got up to AAA and kind of hit a roadblock where he was injured and had hand trouble. He's back here really tearing up AA again. I asked Coach Mark last week if he thought it was beneficial for Matt to still be in AA or if he should be in AAA. Just was trying to get some thoughts from him then and from you on that topic now.
Well, again, the fact of being a AA, AAA is we're influenced, what happens at the big league level. And we're a contending club, so it's going to be very competitive. As we go out and sign free agents that can help the big league club and the whole bit. So I don't. There's not too much that I can say as far as like why he should be here and all that kind of stuff, other than the fact that he's going to go out and do the same job that he knows how to do, perform well like he knows how to do it, and things will happen. And the more that he keeps on working and doing what he's doing, that puts pressure on everybody. And of course, he's just one phone call away, one injury away, of getting to AAA or possibly even the big leagues. But the fact that he's got that sudden power, that's a big thing.
Now, I've spoken to guys like Cody a couple times, other individuals as well, and they'll credit you with helping them really excel and get things together as they try to progress. Is that the best compliment you can get when a guy credits you, or do you prefer a guy maybe show it with his bat more?
Well, I appreciate that. The thing that I can do is I'm a facilitator. In other words, I provide the structure, the opportunity to come in and get your swings and do the types of things to prepare. I think that's if there's anything that I can credit myself is that I'm going to be there to help you prepare. But I never sit there and say, hey, it's because of me or anything that I've done. When they get in the box, they're on their own. Hopefully, the way that we prepared has enabled them to show their potential. And I appreciate the pat on the back and the accolade, and it's good because I think I do think that we have a great rapport amongst each other and amongst coaching staff to players, and that helps a lot.
Now, speaking of rapport, there's just judging by the few times I've been around the club this year, really great vibe in the clubhouse, really great vibe throughout the dugout. Do you think that starts with the coaching staff?
I think that comes right from Mark Parent. I think definitely every club that I've been on and I've managed, and coached and been a part of, I think it is reflective of what happens with the coaching staff and how you are. And this club is nice and loose, and I think that's a credit to Mark and the way he sets things up. I mean, good, bad, or indifferent, we come to the ballpark and we prepare ourselves for the next day. We're always kind of looking forward. So yeah, it's a great group of guys, but it definitely led well.
Now, at this level, AA here with Reading, you see guys of varying ages. Young as 20 probably, as old as 27 or maybe a little bit higher at times. How does your approach towards guys of varying ages change where, you got a guy who's 20 and might need to learn a lot, or a guy who's 27, maybe 28, is a career minor leaguer, might never really excel beyond this. And how do you vary your approach?
Well, that's the fun part about being at the upper levels. Of course, AAA is a little bit older, a little bit more veteran-like, but here you get a good mix. And what's nice is that I see a lot of veterans helping the younger guys, to learn what it takes to play at the upper levels and possibly the big leagues. And So, you know, it differs. Like some of the veterans that we have on the club, I've been here now for 4 years. I've been with them for 2 or 3 years. We just start from day one. There's none of this, you know, kind of like feeling out period where you kind of like don't know what to expect. And some of the younger guys, I have to bring them along and explain how I speak and what these things sort of mean and the whole bit. So it's fun for me because there's no wholesale teaching at this level. It's all individual. And I love the challenge of, let's say, trying to say the same thing 13 different ways so that everybody understands it and gets the job done.
I wanted to ask you also, I spoke with Mark Parent recently specifically about Freddie Galvis. He was saying some great things about strides he's made, whereas maybe a week ago his batting average was a little bit higher than it is now. Maybe he's kind of hit a bit of a skid right now. Mm-hmm. But, you know, Freddie has improved where, you know, he has this reputation for being such a great defender and not so hot with the stick. He kind of has taken some strides this year, I think, and Coach Mark spoke about that, maybe said just adding strength and things like that benefited him. What do you think about Freddie's year?
Well, I think the batting average is very deceiving, and if we look back at the so-called skid, we're going to look at contact, quality of contact, and he's been making tremendous contact throughout that period. Nothing falls. So you know, that's one of the things that we do as an organization too, is that we keep numbers on quality of contact. We keep numbers on situations. We get a whole picture, because if we just look at batting average, and let's say he had to hit 3 ground balls to knock in 3 runs, well, he's 0 for 3, but you know, those are 3 quality at bats. Mm-hmm. So we're looking at the whole picture, and if you look at the whole picture, which, you know, a lot of times a fan doesn't really get to see when they read stats and all that kind of stuff, Freddie Galvis is doing an excellent job.
A couple more names I wanted to ask you before I let you go, and thank you so much for taking the time. A couple injured guys on the roster. A guy who won't be back this year, Harold Garcia, and a guy who hopefully will get with the team quite soon, Tyson Gillies. Just talk about those guys and maybe what your thoughts are for those individuals' future.
Well, it is sad about Harold because of the fact that the injury doesn't permit him to come back this year. At least not to my knowledge, but he was off to such a good start, and he's such a good offensive player, and he did such a good job coming up from A-ball last year after he had a record-setting streak in the Florida State League. So he was off and running in this year and early in the season, and when he gets healthy and he comes back, I don't see why he can't take up where he left off and continue his run the way he was going. As far as Tyson Gillies goes, I know the injury bug has hit him a little bit. He's getting better, from what I understand. I'm just waiting for the opportunity for him to come back and get playing, because he's one exciting player, and he just lights you up as far as his ability and what he does and the things that he brings to the table for us. And if he comes up here and he's healthy and off and running, this club's going to get a lot better.